And just for the people at home, look, we've now marked it with our name, but somebody didn't know how to spell the name of his own boat. Not
I just
pointing
have
any
one little senior moment, and he has to get all of it. So big day, Guy.
Yes, we're back on this wet and windy day. It's very wet this morning. Thankfully it's eased off slightly. Day is very late, so we're going to be a late night.
Que sera?
Ah dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, so basically we've got to the stage where the engine, all going well, is going back in today. We've just been preparing all the nuts and bolts and getting the tools that we're going to get, so we're not running about all over the place trying to find stuff. That's the theory, but we'll still be looking for stuff. So yeah, it's once we've rewired the alternator after somebody disconnected all the wires, and it wasn't Di before anybody says anything, but engine bay's basically ready to go as best it's going to ever be. I did have to change that Jubilee clip on that pipe because that other one was seized.
Jubilee.
Jubilee clip on the exhaust pipe.
Alright, did you put two on there?
No, I was going to put two on there, but
we put two on there.
the one that was on there is thrown up the back there, and it's just twisted and bending, and the coils. It's a new Jubilee clip as well. So I dug out another one, but yeah, engine's all serviced, everything's ready to go. Basically, we've got the new prop shaft bolts. My only complaint about them is they don't have nanny on them, and I'm not happy about that. I'm sending them back because they don't have nanny diesel on them.
We'll have to get them stamped.
Yeah, but yeah, the brand new ones are the proper ones for this. So all going well, there shouldn't be any problems with that. Our biggest problem will be getting it all lined up correctly.
I think we should leave this aside now. Put this in, and then worry about that.
You can do it if you want, but there's a lot of faffing about in there, trying to get wires and stuff like that once it's in.
Otherwise we'd spend all day trying to figure this out.
Yeah, and never get the engine in. Okay, we'll do that. So, once we've had the coffee, because I'm doing nothing till I've been here an hour already, but I'm doing nothing else till I've had my coffee. Once the coffee's done, that engine is going back in that engine bay. One way or another.
Whoosh, boom, bang, done.
Yeah, right, let's go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the plan. Getting it is going to be fun because it's not light, and we're not exactly muscle bound
Well,
or young.
You're more muscle bound than I am.
Bound, yeah, muscle no.
Okay. So that's the plan of action for today.
That's the plan of action, and we'll get as much of it plumbed in and lined up and done as we can today.
Yeah.
Okay. We have decided, I don't know if we mentioned it before, we are keeping the old coupling.
We need to put that back on before we put it in.
Yeah, we'll put that onto there before we put the engine in. We are keeping the old coupling. There's nothing wrong with it. I've cleaned it up, checked it, spoken to the people that sell them, and they say, unless there's any signs of cracks or anything like that, no point in replacing it. It could last another 5 years, or it could last 10 minutes after we put it back in. And they said that with about the new ones as well. It depends on how well we line it up.
Yep.
That's basically what it comes down, because there's actually nothing wrong with it, but we are replacing the nuts and bolts as a safety precaution.
It looked mucky and dirty, but now that you've cleaned it up, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it just needed cleaning up, that was it. But as a safety precaution, we are replacing the nuts and bolts with brand new ones, which I think, okay, not cheap, but...
Well, you made that decision, so
yes,
we've gone with it.
Yes, so we're done. It's I like spending my money anyway, so...
Who wouldn't, Guy? Who wouldn't?
Okay, so we're going to go for now, and we're going to finish coffee, and then we shall make a start.
Well, I'm just about done. What are you hanging about for?
Well, mine's is just about cold anyway, because you've been faffing about with that.
Get a move on.
Yeah, no,
Drinking coffee all day. You can't lift the engine with coffee in one hand and engine in the other, you
I
know.
can have a damn good go.
You could, but you won't do it.
No, I'm not saying I would do it, but I could have a damn good go.
Right, so progress report.
So, progress report is we now have all these bolts, the coupling connected to the gearbox. We did mark it when I took it off, so that made sure it goes back on the plate and in the right place. What we have found is these bolts are actually slightly wider than the ones that we took off. Not by much, but enough that we had to help them along, shall we say. But they're on, they're tightened.
I don't like that at all.
I think it'll be alright once we've got it tightened
That
up on
plate-
that, it'll
that-
straighten itself out.
That plate, yeah, is buckled.
Yeah, but that's because the bolts we've had to force the bolts through. It's the right bolts for it. I think it's just that they're slightly, because these ones are worn, because they weren't exactly the tightest when we took them off.
No, they were quite-
They were loose.
Yeah.
So I think they're worn. I mean, I don't know if you can, I probably can't see it on the camera, but the likes of just very slightly narrower.
And you know what?
Probably
I wonder if those bolts, given the history of what's been done to this boat,
Yeah, were the right ones in the first
they
place.
probably came off a Ford Transit, maybe.
Very possible, yeah. Well, the fuel
To go
tank,
with
the
the
fuel
fuel
tank
tank.
did, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll try it and
Because
see anyway.
obviously when we had disconnected this, the nuts and bolts were loose anyway. These ones were loose when we took these
The
off.
ones that connected the plate to the prop shaft were loose. Yeah.
Well, so were the ones that connected the coupling to.
They were a right pig to take out anyway. Mind you, that reach isn't the best in the world.
Well, no, because we've now got to hook that up to that
Yeah.
once we get this engine in. So that's going to be our next job. Do you want to stick that on the stand and then we can, people can laugh at us struggling with it.
Okay. So let me.
What did you do with that Jubilee clip that you gave me?
Is there enough light there? But does this make any?
Well, I'll move I'll move one of the lights. So where's that one? There it is. Put that on there as well.
Okay.
So that needs to go over there because that's.
I'll take this
Everything
cable.
is in the right place for where it needs to be.
So this can come out here just for the moment, and I'll hang it here out the road.
Right. So the gearbox is there. So I'm going to put.
That's the gearbox cable
I'm
you've
gonna
got in your hand
put
now.
that down there. That's the accelerator cable.
Yeah. That's the throttle cable.
That's the fuel. That can go out the way. We don't need that. That's the fuel return. Actually, that one is. So that can go out the way. That's out the way. Okay. Well.
Are we ready, Freddie?
I think I'll try and get that down there out of the way so it's not catching on anything. Right. I think we're about
As ready as we're going to be. Yeah.
yes. I mean we can keep putting it off and putting it off
And getting nowhere.
and getting nowhere. This is the big moment, people. This is the big moment.
We've
As you'll
waited-
have noticed as well, we've moved it from the blocks over there onto the floor so that we could get.
So we'll get it from here to that edge,
Yep.
and as much over the lip as we can.
Uh-huh.
Then one of us will go outside with a line off of here.
Yeah. We need to find a line for this.
Yeah, there'll be something in the locker. Or is that a pain?
Right, anyway, let's
Anyway,
move it.
yeah.
Let's move it forward. Get the
Are
right
you
way.
ready? Are you ready, Frederick?
Right. Okay, one. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to take this block out first so you're not tripping over it. Right, you ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
That'll do for now.
But it's stopped.
If that's made any difference whatsoever.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. Do you want to go out and pull it off from there, or do
Yeah,
you want me
okay,
to do
if
it?
you
Whatever.
prefer me to do that.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
I'll
not
do
really
that.
first. I'm thinking of what's easier for you.
It's all
Being the older one.
Yeah, I'm cheeky, but you ready?
Okay, go.
I can but lift, you can't do much more.
Lower. Wait a minute. Right, lower. No.
Something's catching.
Right, I've missed it. Right, just hold it where you are.
Yeah.
I've missed the engine mountains on this side.
There we go.
This one's not on, unfortunately. That side's on, that side's on. So
Just
this
the
one.
back one.
Can
You need me
lift
to
it
take
slightly?
away. There we go.
There we go, we're on.
Wow.
All sides. All sides, we're on.
Get that camera in there.
Okay.
Just take it off the back. There's a nut, wing nut, yeah, at the back. You just unscrew it and lift up the top piece. There you go.
There we go. Right, there we go, folks.
Wow, that went on a lot easier than I was anticipating.
Yeah, so we'll obviously get these off in a minute, but yeah, we're all now sitting on the engine mounts. I'm not even sure if you can see that a minute. Right, there we go. Sitting on the engine mounts. Like I said, I'm not a very good cameraman either. But yep, there we go, it's in position.
Tell you what else we don't have. Bloody spirit level.
We don't even know if the boat's level, so it's not going to make much difference.
Yeah.
Right, so it's in position, that's the main thing at the moment.
That cloth. It's in its place, yes.
So the coupling and the prop shaft, I think we're going to have to do some shuggling about of the engine to get them to line up. But yeah, so GoPro, stop recording. Okay, right, so latest update, engine's still in
I like that. Still in.
at the moment. What we've had to do, well, we've now got the prop shaft lined up with the coupling. We've still to tighten the coupling to prop shaft bolts, they've still to be done, which we'll do in a minute. We've had to make some adjustments to the engine mountings to basically get the engine to square up.
This one here we can't get to lie straight at all.
Yeah, for some reason the actual mounting itself is at an angle.
It's the sternmost one, we can't do anything about that.
Sure, taking it off we could actually drill out the holes and make them bigger, so that it would,
No, we can't do that.
but basically the engine is in, it's as straight as what we need it, because the nuts and bolts in the prop shaft itself are line up nicely, so it's all straight and at the right angle we need it at. So it's now a case of putting the nuts and putting the bolts and everything back on, tightening everything down.
So we've gone double secure as well. We're using
Yes.
Loctite nuts on the prop shaft to gearbox coupling, but we're also using stainless steel split washers to make sure it doesn't come apart.
Well, that's the theory.
That's a theory, yeah.
Yes, yes. But yeah, so everything's in place. It's just a case of locking everything down now and coupling everything up. But I think it must be time for a cup of coffee and an eggy sandwich.
Let's tighten up first.
Yes, before we forget. Right, okay, so back to the grindstone.
Right, so if you give me the socket and the spanner.
GoPro, stop recording.
So I'm in.
Okay, final report for the day. All has gone well. We've now ticked off 10 out of the 20 items on there.
Have you already ticked them off?
Yes.
All right,
I've done it for you. I know I've spoiled your fun. I've also written down that wee list on the right hand side of it. That's what we've still to do.
This.
Yes.
So that's what's outstanding.
Yes.
Fit heater,
Yes.
the cabin sole
Which
is
is the
almost there.
Yeah.
The washboards, I have the new stuff at home. I need to cut them out and bring them and dry fit them and
Right.
so on, but I've been working on these.
Yeah, that's fine. The battery box.
Distribution panel, or battery boxes need sorting, yeah. Distribution panel.
The
that
switches
needs,
in
yeah.
there
So those two jobs, while they need reviewing,
aren't urgent.
Yeah,
They work the way they are, but we'd like to tidy them up.
we'd like to get them better.
Yes.
Steps.
Again,
that'll come.
yeah. Again, these things aren't important, aren't urgent.
In terms of priority, I would have said water tank.
Yes, that's definitely the roller reefing, navigation, all the mast stuff. The water tank inside is a priority. Obviously,
I would have said the mast was number one. The roller reefing is number 2. Nav lights, we can live with what we've got for the moment.
That really comes under the mast, really.
Yeah. Water tank has to be number 3. And then the heater may be number 4.
Well,
The rest,
that doesn't even have to be fitted at all, but
doesn't.
we want it fitted if we can.
yeah. We're going away
But
and
the sole
what-
plate and the sole cabin sole, the washboards, again, are not priorities. We've got what we've got is
Will
workable.
work.
Yeah.
Well, the washboards, these are buggered completely.
Yeah, oh, they're totally shot. We're just, as soon as these are ready, well, once the boat goes in the water, we put the new floorboards and they can go in the bin.
Yeah.
Or we're not going to keep them just
We're
as.
not going to keep
no.
them, no.
So once the boat's in the water, the new floorboards go in, they go in the bucket. Because they are shot.
They
I
have
said
been
shot. Don't make sure I had said that properly. They are shot. Not what you think I said. Yeah, so
Where's it? There.
what are you looking for?
This.
Alright.
I think I need to square this up.
Well, what to do? See the bit that you cut off of there? Stick it on the other one.
Just do the trick. Where is it? Let me just put that. This is not quite straight enough for
Yeah.
anyway. So from this edge.
Okay, that's fine.
That's the bit I cut off.
Oh, I don't know what you've done with it. I wouldn't worry about it at the moment, though.
Okay.
It's probably
we're done.
underneath. It's probably underneath.
It's more than likely underneath. Oh, there it's there. There is that option.
But then that's still not straight across, though, is it? It's because
No.
it's obviously now wider
Take
there.
that out. If I need to put a piece in, I'll
Yeah.
cut a piece on the table saw.
Yeah.
That's straight.
And I'll take
I
it
put
straight
it in
up
here.
and then do one for that middle
Yes,
strip there,
yeah.
because that's quite a distance as well.
So this is, again, it's a tapering.
Yeah.
We've got the
The what?
measuring tape.
It's in its usual place.
It's usual.
I put it back so we could find it.
Mistake number one.
Yes, I know. Because yeah, there's quite a hefty gap in there, but you don't want it too tight that we can't get it out.
That's, well, if I
That's
cut
it.
10 mil at that end, and
Hmm.
that 10 mil, that look bigger than 10.
That's 20 mil, isn't
It's about 8, it's 18 mil.
it? Oh.
If I
So
cut
if
15, at
15,
this,
yeah, 15 and then 5 or something like that.
8 or something at this end.
Alright, okay.
15, 8. How long do I need? $84.5.
No, you better write all that down.
Yes, I better.
There's your pencil and notepad on there. So 15 down to 8. That's in millimetres, not inches.
And how much did I say? 84.5. 845 millimeters long.
And that's,
And this one,
well, you've got that strip there that you're going to cut off to use
yes, that's what I'll
as a
do.
measurement.
Looks about 10 mil
But
from
that
here.
end, that farther end where your foot is, that's a bit narrower than this end, I think. So
So that's up here is about 8 again.
it's either that or what you do is obviously level them together and just cut them straight along and then put a strip.
Put a straight piece in.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. That's
So-
what I wanted to do, is to get them all to,
We're done for the day.
we're done for the
Lift them up, put the old ones back down. Let's get the flipping heck out of here, because I've got cold beers waiting on me
And I've got a bottle of whiskey waiting on me.
instead of a coffee. I think we've earned it.
This one will definitely have to do something about.
Yes. Okay, folks. Until the next time. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him.
It is. It is. From us anyway, somewhere. Right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.